All right, pull up a chair because I'm about to tell you a story that'll make your blood run cold. Dim the lights, let the shadows creep in, just you and the faint glow of your screen. Ever wonder what it'd be like if the world ended? Not with a bang, not with nukes or bioweapons, but with something as simple as the flu. A flu that wipes out everything, leaving just a handful of stragglers clinging to what's left. That's where this story takes us, to Anson Beach, Maine, where the surf pounds like a heartbeat, and the night hides things you don't want to see. This is night surf, and it's not for the faint of heart. 3 kids, a bonfire, and a world that's already dead. Only one of them knows the clock's ticking louder than they think. So, settle in and don't mind the chill creeping up your spine. Here's what went down. I want you to picture Anson Beach, not like it used to be, packed with tourists and screaming kids, but empty, desolate, the way it gets when the world's gone quiet. It's late August, the air still thick with summer's heat, but there's a bite to the breeze off the ocean, like falls sneaking in early. The sand's white and untouched, marked only by seaweed and driftwood from the high tide. The moon's up, stitching long, crescent-shaped shadows across the dunes, and the surf. It's relentless, crashing against the headlands in endless, frothy waves, like it's trying to wash away what's left of humanity. There's a lifeguard tower standing 50 yards from the bathhouse, skeletal and white, pointing at the sky like a bone. And us, just a handful of kids, barely out of high school, sitting on this beach like we own it. But we don't. Nobody owns anything anymore, not after A6. A 6. You don't know what that is yet, but you will. It's the flu that ended the world, a strain so nasty it didn't need bombs or missiles to do the job. Started in Southeast Asia, spread like wildfire, and by the time anyone figured out how bad it was, the bodies were piling up. They called it captain trips, and it wasn't just a cold. You'd swell up, your head bloating like a melon, your neck thick as a sausage, until you choked on your own fever. Most people were gone by spring. Cities emptied out, highways turned to graveyards with cars rusting where they stopped. The radio's down to 2 stations. One's a nutcase in Portsmouth playing Perry Como and bawling through psalms. The other's a bunch of kids in Massachusetts, broadcasting from some hijacked station with fake call letters like W dope or cunt, cracking jokes like they're not all coughing blood. That's the world now. And us? We're just the scraps, the ones who got lucky, or maybe unlucky, enough to survive A2, the earlier strain. We thought that made us immune. Thought wrong. Let me set the scene. There's me, Bernie. Not exactly a hero, just a guy who used to have plans, college, a future, maybe a girl who wasn't a pain in the ass. Now I'm here, sitting on this beach with a cigarette, watching the waves and trying not to think too hard. There's Susie, my sort of girlfriend, always whining, always needing me to tell her I love her. Like that's gonna fix anything. She's getting fat, mouthy, and if she lives long enough, she'll be a mess. Then there's Corey, the rich kid who isn't rich anymore, lugging around this suitcase-sized radio that takes 40 batteries and sounds like crap, but plays loud. He's got tapes of the Stones, and tonight it's Angie crackling through the static. Kelly and Joan are here too, always together, holding hands like they're in some travel ad for a place that doesn't exist anymore. And Needles, God, Needles, he's the one who makes this story hurt. He's lean, quiet, used to play Leadbelly tunes on a looted Gibson guitar back in Portland. We found him sitting on a curb, strumming like the world hadn't ended. He's my friend, or as close as you get to one when everyone's half dead inside. We're coming back from the Point, this lookout above the beach where you could once drop a dime in a viewer and see all the way to Portland Headlight on a clear day. Tonight, we didn't go up there for the view. We went up there to burn a man. Yeah, you heard me. His name was Alvin Sackheim, or so he said. Some poor bastard we found half dead in a Lincoln, raving and swollen with A6. His head was the size of a football, his neck a sausage ready to burst. He kept calling for his grandmother, thought Susie was her, which she found hilarious for reasons I'll never get. He was done for, no question, so we dragged him up to the point, tied him to that viewer with our belts, and piled up dry brush and driftwood around him. It was Corey's idea, started as a half-joke. He'd read too many witchcraft books in college, kept yammering about sacrificing to dark gods to keep A6 away. We didn't believe it, not really, but the idea stuck, grew heavy, like the air before a storm. Something to do in a world where nothing matters. So we did it. Needles lit the fire with his Zippo, and it went up fast. Alvin screamed at the end, right before his hair caught, a sound that clawed into my brain. The smell was like sweet pork, sickening and thick, hanging in the air until the breeze finally carried it away. Now we're back on the beach, the fire's behind us, and Corey's radio is blaring some kid's voice from the Massachusetts station, reading dirty limericks while a girl in the background asks where the beer is. It's almost funny, like the world's playing a sick prank. Susie's holding my hand, asking, "Do you love me, Bernie?" That's all I want to know, do you love me? She's like a broken record, always needing me to prop her up. I tell her no, flat out, because I'm tired of her games. She's getting flabby, her cranberry bell-bottoms clinging to her like a bad joke, and I don't have the energy to lie anymore. "You're rotten," she says, hand to her face, her fake nails catching the moonlight. I ask if she's gonna cry again, and she snaps, "Shut up." But her voice cracks like she's already halfway there. We crest the ridge and I stop, like I always do. This beach used to be alive. Tourists, picnickers, kids with snotty noses, grandmas with sunburned elbows, candy wrappers and popsicle sticks in the sand, the stink of exhaust from the parking lot mixing with seaweed and copper tone. Now it's gone, all of it, swallowed by the ocean like a handful of crumbs. The sand's clean, too clean, like the world's been scrubbed raw. We're all that's left and we don't make enough mess to matter. But we love this beach in our way. Didn't we just offer it a sacrifice? Even Susie with her whining and her fat ass feels it. The surf keeps coming, endless, like it doesn't care we're here. Maybe it's the only thing that'll outlast us. Corey's sliding down the ridge on his backside, looking ridiculous, and I feel a pang of pity for him. "Wait up, Bernie," he calls, but I'm already moving. I tell Susie to run with me just because it feels good to move, to feel the wind and the salt in the air. I slap her on the butt and she squeals, but she can't keep up, panting like a tired horse. I leave her behind, kicking off my sandals, pounding barefoot across the sand, not caring about the occasional shell digging into my feet. The waves are black glass, foaming like they're alive, and my blood's roaring in my ears. I do a forward roll, sand gritty down my shirt, and crash into Kelly's legs. He falls on me, rubs my face in the sand, and Joan laughs like it's the funniest thing she's seen in weeks. We get up, grinning, and for a second it's like the world hasn't ended. Susie's plodding toward us, out of breath, and Corey's not far behind. Kelly says, "Some fire," and Joan asks if we think the guy really came from New York, like he claimed. I shrug. It doesn't matter. He was dying, raving, gone. But Susie thought it was funny, him mistaking her for his grandma. She's got a weird sense of humor, always laughing at the wrong things. Corey's the one who pushed for the burning, half joking about dark gods. But it wasn't just a joke by the end. Susie was into it, her eyes bright, breathing fast like it turned her on. Down in the ravine, gathering wood, she kissed me, her lipstick greasy and thick, like kissing a plate. I pushed her away and she started pouting, like always. We're at the lean-to now, Needles already inside, Kelly and Joan by the water, holding hands. Susie catches up, still mad. "You're rotten, Bernie," she says, and I tell her to change the record. That side's worn out. She calls me a bastard, a creep, tears welling up. She's good at that. I tell her to go away or I'll black her eye, not meaning it, but she's pushing me. Corey tries to comfort her and she elbows him in the crotch. He spits in her face and she goes at him, screaming, hands like windmills. Corey runs and she chases, cursing like a sailor. Needles laughs this deep, rolling sound, and the radios faint over the surf. Kelly and Joan wander off, their shadows blending with the waves. I sit with Needles, smoking, the lean-to's dark triangle cutting the sand. "Got a cigarette, Bernie?" he asks, swatting a mosquito. There's a pile of cartons behind him, but he doesn't want to move. I hand him one, light it. We met Needles in Portland, sitting on a curb, playing that Gibson like the world was still whole. His music echoed down Congress Street, haunting and alive. Now he's here, and something's wrong. "I've got it," he says, quiet. "Yeah?" I look at him. "You sure?" My head aches, stomach's killing me, hurts to piss. "Maybe it's just Hong Kong flu," I say, half hoping. Susie had that. Wanted a Bible that was back at the university before they shut it down, before the dump trucks started hauling bodies to mass graves. He lights a match, holds it under his jaw. I see it, triangular smudges, the swelling. A 6. Captain Trips. No mistaking it. "Okay," I say, like it's nothing. "I don't feel so bad," he says. "In my head, I mean. You, though, you think about it a lot. I can tell." "No, I don't." A lie. "Sure you do. Like that guy tonight. You're thinking about him. We probably did him a favor, you know. He didn't even know what was happening." "He knew," I say, sharper than I mean to. He shrugs, turns on his side. "Doesn't matter." We smoke and I watch the surf roll in, out, in. Needles has A6. It makes everything real again, like a punch to the gut. It's August, but fall's coming, and winter's not far behind. We'll have to move inside soon, find a house, maybe someone's living room with Corey's stupid radio on a shelf, the weak winter sun spilling through the windows. Dead by Christmas, all of us probably. The thought's so clear it makes me shudder. Nobody should think about winter in August. It's like a ghost walking over your grave. Needles laughs. "See? You do think about it." What can I say? I stand up. "Gonna find Susie." "Maybe we're the last people on Earth, Bernie," he says, his voice soft. In the moonlight, he looks half dead already, circles under his eyes, fingers pale and still like pencils. Ever think of that? I walk to the water, staring out. Nothing but waves, moving like they've got no end. The surf's thunder is bigger than the world, like standing in a storm. I close my eyes, let the cold sand pack under my feet. If we're the last, so what? The ocean doesn't care. It'll keep going as long as there's a moon to pull it. I find Susie and Corey up the beach. She's on top of him, pounding his head into the surf like he's a rodeo bull. He's flailing, splashing, both of them soaked. I push her off with my foot and Corey scrambles away, coughing. "I hate you," Susie screams, her mouth a dark, grinning slash, like the entrance to a fun house. I remember one from when I was a kid, at Harrison State Park, a clown's face you walked through, its mouth wide and red. I hold out my hand. "Come on, Susie. Up, Fido." She takes it, reluctant, sand caked on her blouse and skin. "You didn't have to push me, Bernie," she says. "You don't ever... Come on." She's not a jukebox. I don't have to keep feeding her coins. We head to the Maine concession, where the guy who ran it had a small apartment upstairs. There's a bed. She doesn't deserve it, but Needles is right. Nothing matters anymore. The stairs climb the side of the building, but I pause to look through a broken window at the dusty junk inside, Sweatshirts with Anson Beach printed on them, cheap bracelets that'd turn your wrist green, beach balls, dirty greeting cards, ceramic Madonnas, plastic vomit, sparklers for a 4th of July that never happened. A sign up front screams, "Try our clam cake special." I used to come here in high school, 7 years before A6, with a girl named Maureen. She wore a pink checked bathing suit I said looked like a tablecloth. We'd walk the boardwalk, barefoot, the wood hot and sandy. We never tried the clam cakes. "What are you looking at?" Susie asks. "Nothing. Come on." That night I dream of Alvin Sackheim, propped in his Lincoln, a blackened skeleton with a bloated, charred head, smelling of burnt flesh. He's talking about his grandmother, on and on, but I can't make out the words. I wake up gasping, heart pounding. Susie's sprawled across me, pale and heavy. My watch says 3:50, but it stopped. The surf's at high tide, so maybe 4:15. Dawn's close. I slip out of bed, go to the doorway. The sea breeze feels good against my skin, and despite everything, I don't want to die. I grab a warm bud from a stack in the corner. No electricity, but I don't mind warm beer. It foams a bit, that's all. I sit on the landing, pull the tab, and drink. Here we are, the whole human race gone. Not from anything epic, just the flu. I want to build a giant plaque in the Bonneville Salt Flats, 3 miles square, bronze with big letters saying, "Just the flu," for any aliens who might land. I toss the can over the side, it clanks on the cement below. The lean-to's a dark shape on the sand. I wonder if Needles is awake. I wonder if I'll be. "Bernie." Susie's in the doorway, wearing my shirt. I hate that. She sweats like a pig. "You don't like me much 485 much anymore, do you, Bernie?" I don't say anything. Sometimes I still feel sorry for her, for all of us, but it's hard. "Can I sit with you?" "Doubt it's wide enough for both of us." She makes a choked sound and turns to go. "Needles has a 6, I say. She stops, face still. "Don't joke, Bernie." I light a cigarette. "He can't. He had, yeah, A2, Hong Kong flu, like you, me, Corey, Kelly, Joan. But that means he's not immune. Then we could get it. Maybe he lied about having A2, I say, so we'd take him with us." Her face lights up, desperate. "Sure, that's it. I'd have lied too. Nobody wants to be alone, right?" She hesitates. "Coming back to bed?" "Not now." She goes inside. I didn't tell her A2 doesn't protect against A6. She knows deep down, but she's blocking it out. I watch the surf, pounding, endless. Anson was a surfing spot back in the day. The point a dark hump against the sky. I think I see the observation post, but it's probably my imagination. Kelly and Joan sometimes go up there, but not tonight. I clutch my face, feeling the skin, its texture. Everything's closing in, mean and small, no dignity left. The surf keeps coming, clean and deep. I think of Maureen, the girl from high school. We came here that summer before college, before A6 swept the world like a shroud. July, eating pizza, her radio playing, rubbing oil on each other's backs, the sun burning, the sand bright. That world's gone, and we're what's left, clinging to a beach that doesn't care. So that's night surf. If it got under your skin, stick around. I've got more stories to chill your bones. Just keep an eye on the shadows tonight.